Hello, everybody. This is the Pocho Podcast. Once again, this is Albert Campa, your host, and got an interesting topic today. Let's get right into it. Let's check out the discussion for today. A certain tweet about Carne Asada fries from the New York Times. Now, this generated some outrage from our fellow Mexican-American Pocho fans out there in the universe. So look at this plate. Carne Asada fries. So this is from Denver, I guess, some restaurant called the Piper Inn. I have no problem, clicking on the link, going, and I even checked out the restaurant. It didn't even look like a Mexican type restaurant. But Carne Asada. So, the Mexican holier than thou people are going to be outraging. So sort of like some laughs, the replies. You got to look at the replies, How dare they? This is a funny one because Carne Asada fries pictured are like the brisket that from Brooklyn barbecue. Look at that disgrace of a brisket. Now this is where it gets interesting. So we see San Diego people, and I didn't know this about San Diego. Apparently that's the originator of Carne Asada fries, whatever that is. But they, they became outraged. They became sad and angry as a San Diego type dude. So apparently it's a San Diego type of thing. Here's one. Hey, New Yorkers, stick to pizza. Signed, San Diego. So San Diego guys are getting... What is this? Why don't you have a Mexican food writer talk about Mexican food? Is that Mexican food or is that San Diego food? Carne asada is, a Mexican dish, but this doesn't look like Mexican food that I've ever seen. I don't really care. That's nothing that I would ever eat, but they're free to write whatever they want and, talk about whatever they want. I have no issue with it. Like, as a Mexican American or as a Pocho, who cares what people do, What they, people hate on Tex-Mex all the time. Yeah, Tex-Mex, there's some people that defend Tex-Mex, defend that it's really Mexican food. If you look at the history and all this, there was an article that I think I talked about earlier on one of the Pocho podcasts that defended the Tex-Mex food as real Mexican, like the slop that they put on the enchiladas and all that, that you see that Shea Serrano tweets and puts Mexicans are great and everyone ridicules and makes fun of them and humiliates him as if they are Mexican. These are Mexican Americans who I've seen tweets from Mexican Americans saying, as a Mexican American, I don't feel I have the right to talk about or to cover something, certain things because they're not full Mexican, they're Mexican American. And this person, it being some white dude or person in a white restaurant, is talking and discussing a Mexican dish. The New York Times is a writer who's probably white talking and discussing the intricacies of a Mexican dish, if you want to call that a Mexican dish on top of a French dish, French fries. Okay, so what are the French going to be upset? How dare you mix our fries into this discussion? How dare the abomination of our French fries be put with the carne asada food? Are they outraged? Can they not speak out on this? Who cares, man? Let some dude make this dish. Because little do you know, I know people in Mexico who have restaurants that make French fries with all kinds of different Mexican toppings, just exactly like this. So San Diego might think, oh, they're the pride of San Diego. That's a pretty disgraceful dish to be proud of. I imagine it's tasty. It's like putting a whole conglomeration of junk in a little bag and then eating it. But Tex-Mex, people hate on Tex-Mex. People hate on Texas. California, you're going down on their level. But let's take a look at this clip from Joe Rogan when he brings up Bill Burr brings up Tex-Mex.
For no
What
reason.
about the cross-country skiers and all of a sudden they got a rifle and they're doing like they're at a gun range? I mean,
that's different. That's that stupid fucking. What is that? That's not the decathlon.
You know what
is
that's
that
like? That's like Tex-Mex food
Right.
Asian infused fucking Americana.
Asian infused.
That's all it is. It's just
Americana.
people. People are doing their version of cross country skiing. Like
Yeah.
that's like
So you're talking about those skiers that are in the Olympics, and they're running around skiing, cross-country skiing, but they got a gun, they got a rifle, and then they get to a certain point and they do some rifle shooting to measure their accuracy. So it's more like a multi sport. Just like this food, man. This food has some carne asada. It's not gonna have no taco, no tortilla, but it's got French fries, dude. It's got French fries, so you're mixing things up. You're doing an addition. Tex-Mex as well. Like, I don't know what Tex-Mex mixes. Tex-Mex, like some Texas chile or whatever, chili. And you mix it in with some, enchiladas or whatever. So it's a mixture. Just like the skiers that have rifles with them. It's a mixture of things. So this is another tweet right here. Like, Mexican Americans, oh my gosh, Americans are making a mockery of our food. And then Mexicans, well, okay, let me just say, Mexicans aren't even knowing about that New York Times article. They don't even care about that stuff. Mexicans have even restaurants, like I mentioned, with that kind of stuff. But it's these Mexican Americans that are causing all this ruckus and are getting all offended and sensitive. And, that's not right. You shouldn't be making a mockery of our food. Like, okay, you're Mexican American. Don't be saying our food. You're not a Mexican. And meanwhile, the Mexicans don't even care, man. They'll sell whatever you'll buy. They'll put enchilada on a pizza, taco on a pizza. One of my sobrinos bought a Domino's pizza, bought a bunch of carne asada or carne al pastor, and put that stuff on top of the Domino's pizza. He took the Domino's pizza in the box and brought it to a taquero who did that for him. I think I posted that video on Twitter a long time ago. So don't be getting all outraged, you Mexican American, you Pocho, you faux Mexican, thinking you know what you're talking about. Meanwhile, Mexicans are doing this type of stuff, so man, the outrage is real, dude. That's why I like when Alexi Lalas, every now and then he'll wake up and he'll just say, what is the outrage today? What are we outraged about today? So thanks for listening, man. Pocho Podcast. Click this button if you want to support. Listen on Spotify and all the different locations. We're here for you, dude. We're here for your education on Chicano studies. You don't need to go to Chicano study class. Drop out of that class. Come here, listen to this podcast. We got you covered, man. Let me know what else you want to talk about. We'll discuss. Check you guys later.